The Blake Monroe situation is incredibly interesting when you really sit back and peel it back layer by layer.
Cue the standing ovation!
What an amazing moment. We are blessed.
7 days, they have been building up the hype to Blake Monroe's in-ring debut. She's already been on the main roster for 4.5 months, 4.5 months. And she was going to go up against Julia. Now, if you guys know the story between them two, it dates all the way back to Stardom. So it's needless to say, they were actually going to have a really good match if given at bare minimum 10 minutes. And the reason why I'm taking this back a little bit even further is because I don't know if I don't work for WWE. I never claimed to. But last week, they basically posted a YouTube video where they essentially made the match official. Now, this segment specifically, I don't know if it was cut from SmackDown or if it was supposed to air on SmackDown. Again, I don't work back there. I know that Paige's segment that you guys may have seen got cut last week, but this specific one was an exclusive where, you know, Julia basically told Blake Monroe, I'll give her the beating she deserves. And that is essentially how we got this match. So going back to it, it was advertised 1 week in advance. It was built up strictly purely through social media with the intent of them fighting it out tonight in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And despite us waiting 4.5 months, the match actually did not take place. But I may have a few theories on why that is the case. I'll get rid of the dumbest one out of the way first. And so Blake Monroe had a very special entrance in NXT where she would essentially come out of a mirror. Or not out of a mirror, but hold on, I'll show you. She would basically be like gazing into a mirror and then the camera would like transition into her actually coming out.
What do you mean by that?
What would happen is the camera would pan out, transition, boom, boom, and the mirror's like reflecting her entrance as she's like basically walking out into the ring. Obviously, that's a pretty dumb reason, but with her having to wait 4.5 months, with us having to wait that long, right? The other thing is creative could have something way bigger in plan for her. And do I think they can pull this off? Probably not, but hear me out, listen to me, hear me out. What if you guys saw the way that it ended tonight, where essentially she put the beat down on Julie. As Julie is making her entrance, Blake comes out and beats her all around the ring, in the ring, obtuse, purple goose, green moose, lava juice.
Obtuse, rubber goose, green moose, lava juice, giant steak, birthday cake, large rice, chocolate shake.
One of the other reasons I wanted to give you guys, and there's a bullet point. When the Glamour first appeared on SmackDown, she was cutting backstage vignettes or promos, video style, where they edited and things like that. And she would say she was interested in seeing Rhea Ripley. She was very interested in Tiffany Stratton at the time when she was US champion. She was talking about everyone who held championships. And she'd be doing this while she'd be like laying down, writing down in her notebook or in her journal. Or if she was like in the tub, in the bath, like just wait, you know, enjoying the finer things in life. And these are all things that are indicative of now how her presentation has been tonight, for example. And I say this because they may want her first debut match to be for a championship. And it's not far off that they can actually execute this and pull this off with the way that they've been going about it. She's been sneak attacking people and even just attacking random people backstage. Now, why the random attacks backstage, I'm not too sure. But the one of the main reasons I wanted to go back to is Rhea was champion at the time when Blake was somewhat targeting her to a degree. And my thesis is, or my theory, is that they maybe had plans for Blake Monroe to face Rhea Ripley, but when Rhea got injured, and since Rhea was the centerpiece of the women's division on SmackDown, they essentially had to kind of reshuffle all the plans, like what happened with Liv Morgan, right? A number of months ago before she came back at Survivor Series, where they had to like shuffle a crap ton of plans, right? What if they were going to have her already straight to the top of the main event scene, and Rhea getting injured was what essentially became the catalyst to the delay of now X amount of months, because no one knew how bad her injury really was up until like a number of weeks, like, well, I don't want to say weeks ago because that would sound like it's months, but maybe like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when she went on Instagram herself that she's cooked. I mean, she literally posted this on Instagram, like she's done. Like there's no like reality where anybody could have seen this coming except maybe I mean, I'm assuming the doctors were like handling it. But again, I don't work for WWE. I don't freaking know. I'm looking at it from a number of standpoints, right? Like someone who, you know, does content creation and kind of reads some spoilers online, but also a fan. who is like, well, if she's injured, then obviously Blake can't fight her. And if Blake can't fight her, then obviously Blake has to be put on ice for a little bit. So, but yeah, Rhea literally announced it herself here. Like, she even posted it. She was like, you know, she has a surgery on her leg. Like, she's cooked. So where do we go from here? Well, it's obvious that they're, or not obvious, but if I'd had to guess, I don't think she's done with Julia. Not by a long shot. I think at some point or another, you know, I can heavily see Julia hooking Blake in some capacity, or even maybe, I don't know, them maybe continuing the sneak attacks and things like that, and then ultimately having some sort of fight where, you know, Nick Aldis will be like, okay, well, if you fight Julia, then I'll give you a championship opportunity, but only if you beat her, right? And then now this will maybe give some spotlight to Julia as well. So if you guys didn't know, they trademarked her name, but the overall thesis behind that is that Julia still owns the right to her actual name, but WWE can license it for merchandise and things like that. So when Julia leaves WWE, and I say when because it's not an if, it's a rather a when, she gets her full name back with her licensing and all that other stuff. I hope that what I said makes sense, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. And I didn't leave you guys like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Hopefully you guys see where I'm coming from. You guys see what I'm trying to explain, and you're not just like hitting me over the head. Leave a like if you enjoyed, man. Subscribe if you haven't already. Long story short to everything is, I think they have a bigger plan for her. I think they're going to execute it. And I think they're going to push her straight to the upper main event scene, or upper mid-card main event scene. And I think the derailment occurred with Rhea Ripley's injury, but that's just my theory. Yeah.